Holy fucking shit! Hey guys, it's Kevin Atresian over at Backroom Studios. Today we're going to be reviewing the Friedman JJ Junior. This is an amp that I've been wanting to look at for a long time. I spoke to Dave about it over a year ago, I think, when he first was talking about it to me. Then I saw it at NAMM this year, and he claims that it would sound just like the big one.
Bullshit.
And obviously I'm a little skeptical. I've played 20 watt smaller condensed versions of other companies' amps, and every time I feel like I've been pretty disappointed. But honestly, when he dialed it in, it sounded exactly like it. He went back and forth, and with the switching system, I couldn't tell the difference. And now that I've got this one for myself and I have a similar switching system, sometimes I prefer this one. It's crazy. They both have, great unique things about them, and we'll get into that shortly. Obviously, I have kind of a thing for Friedman amps, but there's good reason for that. They sound great live, they sound awesome in the studio, and yeah. If you guys want to check out the review of the 100 watt version of this amp, you can see that here. That was actually the first video we did for this channel. And they sent us that amp in the custom blue Tolex, and they were nice enough to do that the same thing with a smaller version. And I actually think it makes this amp sound a little bit better being blue. So we're gonna actually have a little timestamp thing in this video, so you can skip ahead if you want to just get right to the sounds. We're going to start off just going over some of the front and rear panel features. Then we're going to bring it into Pro Tools, and you can hear some exclusive number 12 Looks Like You riffs on the new album that's coming out. And then at the end, we're going to go over the pros and cons, and do I think you should get it or not? Do I think you should get it or not? Does that not make sense? Fuck you. Front panel time. All right, cool. Right off the bat, you're going to notice we only have a power switch. We don't have a standby switch on this one, which is kind of awesome. It's new to me. There's a built-in dummy load in this amp, so it's safe to run with no speaker cable attached. And we'll talk more about that later. But you have a global presence. You have your master for your rhythm. You have treble, mid, bass for your rhythm, and then your gain knob for the rhythm. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
I just thought I heard something. All right, we'll just keep going. So then you have your clean volume. It's kind of simple. And you have your three-way bright switch. So you kind of can change the tonality of the clean with that. Then you have some other switches up here. You have the channel select, and you have either running the JBE channel or the regular rhythm channel. Let's check out the back.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now we're in the back panel. We can see the tubes throughout. It's got two EL84s. Powering about 10 watts each, and you have three 12AX7s. It looks like he's using JJs for the power tubes and ARS for the preamp tubes, which I know he used that in my the other JJ I have too. So let's go through some of this. You have a foot switch, single channel, just to go between the two channels, the clean and the rhythm. You have a really nice Friedman signature FX loop, which sounds really transparent. Now this is one of my favorite features of the amp. You have an XLR output with a built-in cab simulation. So I'm going to test that out in a little bit, and we'll see how good it sounds. You can lift on that. You can also change the tonality of the speaker sim. You can keep it on axis, or you can keep it on the edge, and then you have a level adjust for that as well. Then there's your speaker outputs. This one says to use first. And then you have your impedance selection here. You can go from either 16 to 8. Now they don't include a 4 here, but it doesn't really matter because you never really need 4 with 20 watts. I can only imagine you'd want to go down to 4 if you were using multiple cabs, and I feel like with 20 watts you're not ever going to want to do that. Now we're back in Pro Tools land, and we're going to check out how the Friedman sounds. We're going to be using some riffs from the number 12 Looks Like You, their new record coming out. We just finished working on that one. We're going to demo the rhythm channels and the clean channel on this amp. And I'm actually using just the DI out on the back of this. And I'll play it for you so you can hear the two different modes. So now it's in the center mode, which is brighter, and then you have the edge setting. So that's a lot darker, which is kind of cool. Go back to the center. We're gonna stick with that just for now. So let's look at the front panel here. We have a global presence, which is pretty obvious what that does. That's pretty standardized amongst most amps. turn that up, get bright. And actually, this has a unique feature that's it's kind of a secret feature that's not in the Friedman manual. If you pull this out, and then it will add reverb to literally anything happening in the room. So I'm going to do that now, and then turn that up, and you can see just even on my voice alone how crazy this gets. Like, I'm not sure what the practical application is, but it's pretty neat. We'll turn that down, pump that back in. So, moving along, we have the master for the rhythm. And this actually will change the tonality because it's 20 watts, so it gets super mid-range, right? Kind of loses the bottom end and gets really mid-range focus. And crank it. That would be super loud if we had a cab, by the way. Moving on, we have the treble for the rhythm. Get super bright, darken it up. The mids, scoop the mids. Rock and roll. Okay, we got the low end, which this thing has plenty of, but it's gonna be hard to hear on an impulse response. You can kind of hear it a little bit. Did you hear that? I swear to God I heard that again. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just keep, it's fine. We'll just edit it. Yeah, we'll edit it. All right, so then we have the gain channel, the gain knob, gain channel for the rhythm channel. So if you want to super saturate it, right now we're in JBE mode, or clean it up. Oh, too much. So let's switch over to the regular BE mode. It gets louder because you don't have that compression. So you can still get pretty gnarly in that mode too, but let's switch back over. That's the JJ mode, double J. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now that you heard it soloed enough, let's hear that rhythm channel in the mix of the song.
Do or do not. There is no try.
True. All right, now let's check out the clean channel on this amp. We're gonna use a different song on the same record by the number 12 Looks Like You. And the clean is pretty easy on this one. There's one knob and a 3-way bright switch. So let's hit play. So this is to the right now. This is pretty bright. Let's click over one. So now it's darker, a lot darker. And then one more to the left. It's really bright. Two to the right, it's kind of the middle. And then you got, you know, your volume. Watts, we're cranking it pretty hard here. But it stays clean, relatively loud. I mean, that's at like 7. I mean, notice that this, everything here goes up to 11.
These go to 11.
Because why not? Cool. Let's check it in the mix now. Now let's put it to the test. We're gonna take the 20-watt version and compare it to the 100-watt version and see how close it gets. Just wanna say, by the way, how fucking awesome is this shot? Now we're gonna do the triple T, the tough tour test. Dude, knock it off. So this is where we take whatever piece of gear we're reviewing and drop it from about chest height and see if it'll stand up on tour. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You fuckers thought I was really gonna drop this. So that was pretty crazy. It sounded really close to the big one. So now I just want to go through some of the pros and cons on this guy, and then I'll make a final recommendation on it for you. So number 1, it's super lightweight. It comes in about 22 pounds. It's easy to transport, which is awesome. It's surprisingly loud. At only 20 watts. We tested this. I rehearsed with my band like a week ago, and I only had it at about 5.5, and it was scorching loud. And I had plenty of headroom to go after that. So that was my biggest fear with this thing, was it wouldn't be loud enough for a live environment, and it is. Also, this is kind of a bargain if you think about it. Compared to its 100-watt bigger brother, this comes in at, I think, around 15 they're gonna sell it for, and the bigger one I think starts around like 37, 38, so quite a big discount on this one. And you get most of the same features as the big one too. And you get a few extras like a built-in dummy load, and you get an XLR output, and you have multiple settings for the cab emulation. So that's pretty amazing. There's like a ton of features with this thing. And I feel like he should maybe change his name from Jerry Cantrell to Jerry Kentrell? Fuck you. All right, so now we got that out of the way. Let's check out the cons for this amp. I think the biggest one would be... I think the biggest one is that I bought the big one. Okay, so honestly, the only real con I could think with this thing is that you may not have enough power for 20 watts, but it is really loud. And the clean channel is pretty bare bones with the the volume and then the 3-channel price switch. That's like the only honest negative thing I can think about this. Did you? I swear to God, I heard that again, dude. What the fuck is that sound? To sum it up, I think I'm gonna give it 1,000 Buffy CDs for this one. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys had fun. We had fun making this video. I would really consider getting this thing if you can't afford the big one, and it's almost irritating how close it is for such a discounted price. It's kind of an amazing amp right here, and I'm really psyched I got it. If you've ever bought a piece of gear because your idol has it, click that subscribe button.